Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, September 28th. I always have to look up in my screen and see what day it is. Happy to see you guys here. Let me adjust. I got a little bit of a spike hair thing going on here. Let's just pat that down. There we go. All right. Good to see everybody here. Well, we've only got 11 people. People are coming on. Text or give us a comment. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We've got Paul's in the house. What's up? Marie's in the house. Good to see you, Marie, again. I think you were here yesterday. What's up? And I think our text message just went out, so we'll have a lot more people joining now. Sarah, what's up? Good to see you. Sonia, Paul, where are you guys tuning in from? It's always cool to see people tuning in from all over the world. And yeah. We've got a great guest in the house. For those of you who are newer, who haven't watched Bruce, what's up? Who haven't watched Wake Up Legendary before, we go live every single Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern here on our Facebook page. And afterwards, we post it to Spotify and to Apple Podcasts and to, where else? YouTube. So it's kind of all over the place, but the live version is always on our Facebook page. Okay. So, all right. Now we've got a lot more people in the comments. Good to see everybody here. Awesome. Good to see you. So each day we'll bring on a new guest or some sort of a guest, whether it's an affiliate of ours or just a client, somebody who's purchased our blueprints or something like that. And today I'm excited to bring on Dustin. So for everybody who's in the chat, if you can give me a little like hand clap emoji and welcome Dustin on. Dustin, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great.
Good.
So you're in South Africa, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for what time is it there? It's got to be,
It is 4 p.m. in the
yeah, I was
afternoon.
gonna say late. Yeah, I was gonna guess like 6 or 7, but I was a few hours off. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you let people here who are tuning into our show, let them into your world a little bit and kind of just tell us what do you do for work right now? You've got a full-time job, you also got family, you've got a lot of different stuff. And so this has been kind of a passion business for you. What,
Mm.
uh, you know, what led you to sort of coming online? Maybe take us back and like into your career and sort of your thoughts of doing something online.
Okay. Well, I'm an accountant by trade, but I'm actually the financial director for a large national consultancy firm in South Africa and the CFO of the company. And so by nature, I'm quite entrepreneurial and and being an accountant, you don't you see a lot of businesses, you see a lot of figures, you think, but you don't actually get the opportunity to be entrepreneurial because you're always digging into the numbers.
Sure.
And yeah, so I would say about a year and a half ago, maybe just as we were coming out of COVID, um, I sort of started thinking about, what sort of business would you want to go into if, COVID becomes this permanent thing. Most people are working from home, um, businesses are closing, and even our business, which is a consulting engineering company, a lot of projects were put on hold, and people lost jobs, unfortunately. So I
Yeah.
sort of started thinking, my entrepreneurial brain started going, and I sort of started looking around and thinking, what kind of business would be sort of robust, bulletproof in this sort of environment.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I went online, and I'd never been online before. This was probably like June last year, 2020, and thought, started researching internet businesses, and I saw things like Shopify and all these drop shipping website businesses and that. And I tried a couple of those, and I just sort of, yeah, I mean, it worked a little bit, but I just found it a lot of work. Being in my position, I don't have that much free time, and I really only have an hour, maximum 2 hours per day to do anything else. And then on weekends, I'm busy. I've got two boys. Um, one's 13, one's 16, and they keep me busy. So I needed to find something that was going to sort of, that I could do in the hours allocated every single day. So I carried on searching, and it actually took until about January this year, 2021, where I stumbled across a Facebook ad where a guy was sort of making a pitch around, going doing a lifestyle business, and it was on Facebook, and he was actually in something I'm passionate about, which is enduro motorbike riding, off-road motorbike riding. My son's race, and I was watching this video, and he said, "Well, I'm able to do this all the time because I've got an online business," and that's what sparked the interest. And he went on to explain about affiliate marketing, and it was the first time that I'd ever heard about affiliate marketing. And so that was my journey. And cool, that's when I started research. That's when I started researching and reading up on it. And yeah, that's where it all started.
That's pretty cool. That's cool. I in your journey of discovering sort of how did you select like a business model or what, because you're already in consulting basically. So affiliate marketing, why didn't you go into like launching a consulting business or something like that? Or what appealed about the affiliate marketing business specifically?
The low overhead. Zero, practically zero overhead. That's what appealed to me the most, is the ease of entry.
Yep.
Most businesses, you've got fixed overheads, rent, electricity, staff. It's and if you're not making any money, that overhead's still there every single month. You've got to pay it, and most of the time you're signing leases and everything. With the affiliate marketing online business, I mean, apart from a few, small debit orders that go for certain software programs, that's it. The rest of it is just your time. So your return on investment is just absolutely crazy. I mean, it's a no-brainer when you're looking at business models.
Dude,
So that's
it's
what.
so true. And you have an accountant. Look, so my wife owns like a real brick and mortar therapy practice, right? And
Yeah.
we do all the books for that. So I'm also a side accountant.
Okay.
Not really, but my sister is a CPA, and
Okay.
and uh, and so any questions I have, I go to her. And I've really learned how to do decent small business accounting, and I've just had to. But here's what I'll say is I would say most people in this industry, in the digital marketing industry, affiliate marketing industry, have no idea what the real margins of most businesses are, which are very small. And so my guess is when you came online and you were like, my God, there is no overhead to this, especially if you can organically figure out how to organically, without paying a ton in ads, how to generate new leads and customers predictably.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
100%. I mean, and also when I discovered organic sort of marketing and not having to pay for ads, that was another level. I couldn't get over. I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Yes. Yeah, it's so true. I, yeah, for me, we hosted this webinar a couple weeks ago for our affiliates, and we kept calling it the greatest opportunity ever in this industry. And that's because it is being able to sell even mid-ticket or high-ticket digital products that are fully digital, that have massive margins, is crazy. And then on top of it, zero support, zero people to help you with merchant accounts, zero legal fees, to have consulting on legal on the business. I mean, maybe you get a little, you do some reading or something online about, how to cover your ass as an affiliate marketer. But for the most part, like the big costs land on the actual business doing the fulfillment. They handle all of that. The affiliate just has very, very little. It's crazy. It is. I think you're right. I think it is, at least to my knowledge, the simplest sort of least amount of friction to get something started and get going and start selling something. I think that's true. Maybe the other one would be just like creating content and getting paid by the content provider, like just being a content creator alone and not dealing with sales funnels. That could be one, but your income is really capped in that scenario. And it's fully dependent on you being able to be, in that world, you've got to be a top 1% of content creators in the world in order to pull it off. As an affiliate, you don't.
Yeah, 100%. And also, if you want to go away for the weekend or just for a week, you just get up and go. You don't have to worry about locking up or staff and I mean it's just a no-brainer from a business model, and it just gets better as you start to automate everything. It just gets better and better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you feel like has been most successful for you? Like, what do you do to drive leads, and how's that gone, and how have you learned that?
Well, I have a mentor, which that I sort of take on. I honestly believe everyone needs some sort of mentor or program or something, that's that guides them through, no matter where you are in your journey in any business. You never stop learning. You never
Yeah.
stop learning. It doesn't matter where you are. You always going to need someone that's going to, and they don't necessarily have to be earning more than you or better than you. They just have to be showing you something that you don't know. So I started off doing a lot of paid ads, and that's how I got into sort of getting first sales and getting leads. But the return on investment to me was not bad, but
Yeah.
wasn't it wasn't the best. And so I started researching organic marketing, and and then through mentorship and the legendary marketer program, and that I started to learn how to do organic marketing, and just through trial and error, um, just sort of doing just trying out things whenever and learning by default, and realized that it was a lot easier to just do organic marketing, and you build the relationship through organic marketing. You know what I mean? So even through that imperfect action, people might not agree with the way you do it initially, but you start to learn characteristics and personalities, and you build relationship like that. Through the paid ad sort of market, you get a lot more leads coming in, but
Yep.
not necessarily qualified warm leads. Because they don't really know who you are, so you're not building a relationship.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think a lot of people don't realize that with paid ads, your conversion rate on everything in your sales funnel is going to be a little bit lower, and you have to build that into your costs. But yeah, if you can generate highly qualified leads, the way that you're talking about, we see people who have large TikTok channels who
Yes.
cultivate and curate those TikTok channels, and people who go live on TikTok or on Facebook or on YouTube, and they speak directly to their audience. Their conversion rates are 2, 3, 5 times higher than to cold traffic. And there's reasons for that. I mean, you're going to do a lot more work because you're going to be creating content for them. You're going to be going live with them. But I wrote about this in an email that we sent out as a weekly roundup. It's called the mini webinar strategy. And yeah, you can do that in multiple different ways. You can do that through messaging people. You can do it through actually conducting a live webinar or going live on TikTok or whatever. But man, if you can break through the barrier, there's a lot of internal hurdles to getting on a live. You know, a lot of people struggle with like, oh my gosh, there's nobody here. There's nobody who's tuning in, and oh God, I'm nervous. You know, all that stuff. But when people start to break through that and they go live, the results are crazy. They're crazy. And the sales pour in. So anybody who's on here who has a TikTok or an Instagram or YouTube, I mean, just go live with like a quick little 10-minute training, like a 10, like have something planned out, like 3 things to consider when starting it, 3 things not to do if starting an online business in 2021. And then just talk through 3 things and just go live. But the content's important, but it's not nearly as important as just people feeling a level of transparency from you and feeling like, wow, okay, this guy that I, you know, saw one time out there in outer space on the internet messaging me or creating these TikTok videos is a real person and will answer my questions. That's pretty cool. People love that. When people, I've looked through comments before. This one girl, Sarah, she goes live a lot to her audience, and she stopped going live for a little bit. I think she had like COVID or something. And the comments on her channel were like, when are you going live again? I miss our lives. I miss your lives. Like everybody was just like up in arms, you know, because she wasn't doing anyway. So my point is, whether you're doing that as a live, that's just one example, or you're doing it through messaging or through however you choose to do it. I wanted to emphasize that when you sort of nurture that audience, when it's real and it's like, you know, when it's like basically a human conversation, you can really warm up that lead and get a really highly qualified lead. I think that's true. Well, I know that's true. I've seen that in practice. But also, here's the next step to that. The next step is taking that feeling, because really that's a marketing and sales lesson for everybody. Is what you're doing, Dustin, is taking you're transferring a feeling to somebody, right? So you have a sense of confidence, of clarity, of knowledge. You have a feeling, and you are essentially transferring that feeling to another person. Now, that can be done in marketing automation as well, but it takes a little time and it takes a little bit of nuance. So, you know, whether you do that through a pre-recorded webinar or whatever it is, there's ways that you can do that in automation, which might be the next stage or the next level for you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. What do you what's like the future got for you? Like so you're at this place now, you're seeing some success. What's down the pike, so to speak? What are you excited about?
Geez, I mean, there's a lot to be excited about in this industry. I think the most exciting thing I find is meeting new people. That to me is the best thing about this business. You know, I'm quite a sociable person. I enjoy meeting new people. I enjoy speaking into people's lives. Um, and you find a lot of people that just need encouragement and upliftment on the online community. So that really, really just gives me a lot of joy. You know, even if you don't get sales out of them, or you know, it's just making sure that you know you try to help them, and you know you can do what you can for them. But I think for me, exciting going forward is firstly I want to build the business to my business to a place where um, there's a possibility that I can move away from the corporate environment. Um, but at this point, it's not one of my goals. I enjoy what I do. This is just one of the passions that I have, and it's fun. It's a fun business. So I don't get up and will get home in the evenings and go, oh, you know, I've got to do my affiliate marketing business. I actually can't wait to get home, to get onto my computer to start working on my affiliate marketing business. It's a hobby, you know.
Yep.
And the hobby is making me extra money, which is great because I can take my family on holiday, better holidays than what I have been, and I can afford better motorbikes for my sons that are racing, and but I think for me, it's just that opportunity to be able to, in maybe 5 years' time or sooner, have the option of saying, okay, I've had enough of the corporate world now. I want to go and sort of slow down and work from home and spend more time with my family and my wife. I've got that option. And that's really what I'm building at the moment. It's almost like a retirement plan because this is the kind of business that you can do until you 100. You know, I'm currently talking to a guy who's actually just gone into the 15-day challenge. He's 86 years old. Um, and he's like so passionate. I mean, I couldn't believe it when he told me how old he was. And he's like 86 years old, and I was like, wow. And he's like so pumped, and he's like, and we're talking to each other on Messenger and everything. So yeah, that's where I see myself.
That's cool. That's cool. That's really cool. I feel like there's a lot to pull out there, but I like what you said about I liked what you said about the just the social element of the business, meeting new people. Like I think that that's just such a side, like it's really weird to me. So like 11 years ago, this was 11 years ago. I was like this 22-year-old kid, 21-year-old kid, like super young, could barely grow facial hair, like, and and this mentor of mine did a webinar, and it was called the Fast JV Formula, Fast Joint Venture Formula. And he said, hey, look, many of you have skills and you have the ability, and you might even have an email list that you started to build, or you have a Facebook group, and you have a good audience, but maybe you don't have a product right now that you could promote in an instant and produce some commissions. And then there's others of you who have a little product that you created because you thought, man, I could create this little product. And so we connected. So anyway, it was all about sort of messaging people. You basically message and be like, hey, do you have a list that, maybe I could joint venture and I have this product. So I created this product called the First Page Formula. Which was an SEO product teaching people how to rank their sites on Google. I learned really quickly how to rank sites on Google using SEO. And I joint venture with this lady, Andrea. Andrea had a smaller list, but just like you, had really cultivated that list. So really built relationships. And that list was incredibly valuable. So maybe only like a couple thousand people or something, not like 10,000 people or 100,000 people, smaller list. And that was the first like sales of my product that ever happened. Was we joint ventured, and also included a done for you website that I built for her audience, whoever bought the product. So it was only a couple sales that came through, but it generated and it started. But what's way better than that? Yes, I got a little bit of traction for, a little excitement that I made some sales. But what happened was Andrea and I kept in touch for years, still are to this day, still friends 11 years later. And she was the one who introduced me to Dave and got me hooked up with Legendary to start. Basically, I started as a consultant to Legendary in marketing and in education. So just creating training videos, basically. And it turned into this, which is like, I've been here for 3 years now. It's my home. It's where I love to be. And it all, stemmed from that one relationship. And that same mentor who kind of made that connection for us, he said to me one time, he said, hey, look, getting from 0 to 6 figures is about talent and skill. It's about learning hard skills. Getting from 6 to 7 figures is about relational capital. So relational capital online in the form of who along the path from $0 to 6 figures, who did you screw over? Who did you shit talk? Who did you, what bridges did you burn? Because if you're lucky enough to make it to 6 figures, right? Then going from 6 to 7 is going to require a lot of partnerships. It's going to require you to have a great reputation. It's going to require that you haven't, shit talked a lot of people. So then they go out and they're like, no, this guy's not actually very good. He's not a good guy. And I think a lot of people miss that element. I mean, a lot of people who are here are like trying to get to 6 figures, and I get that. I'm not trying to speak to the wrong audience or anything, but I feel like that piece for me became very true because every relationship that I had along the way, maybe with the exception of 1 or 2 that I had a learning lesson from, where I screwed up or I kind of screwed, I just made bad decisions. But for the most part, I have, I have really been careful with relationships. And that when I got to the point 3 years ago where I was introduced to Dave, and hang on one second. And I don't have any water, but when I was introduced to Dave, it was like he went around and asked and was like, and he went around and asked and didn't get bad feedback, right? It was like, oh yeah, he's a good dude. Like you can probably trust him. He's a good guy. So anyway, all that to say, I just saw some comments, and basically for anybody, I didn't make some weird comment about Bitcoin. I'm not watching, so I don't know what's going on, but no, I did not make a comment about Bitcoin or anything. So anyway, that's all. Keep going, Dustin. So I'll give you the final word today. Speak to our audience, speak to the people who are just getting started, the people who are just trying to feel out the online space. What would you say to somebody who's maybe a little hesitant, a little skeptical, and is in your shoes back when you first discovered legendary and affiliate marketing? What would you say to that person?
Geez, I would say jump in there, dive, just jump in the water and go all in. It's not easy. When I say it's not easy, it's that you got to have commitment, drive, persistence, determination, all those things. But if you stick it out, it's most probably the best business you'll ever come across. I mean, I don't have to say that I'm not, it doesn't benefit me by saying that. I've just being in business my whole life. I've never seen a business model like this that is fun, that helps people, that builds relationships, and that you can do part time, which is really great. And don't give up. It's not. It doesn't take. It doesn't happen overnight. A lot of people want to make that first sale, and they give up after 2-3 weeks, sometimes even 6 weeks. And I've known people, mentors that have taken like 3 months to make their first sale, and then poof, it just explodes. And they start doing. Some people even take 6 months, but it's all about that preparation and learning and building. And don't. My advice is don't give up. Just go all in.
I love it. Well, thanks for coming on and taking a little bit of time out of your busy schedule. I love that. I just wanted to say, I love the way that you said, I'm excited to work on my business. And I always love getting on with people who are like, no, when I get off my job, I'm excited. Back in the day, like it was the same thing for me. Like I was working in a coffee roasting warehouse, and I basically, I would get up in the morning at 4 a.m. I would work on my business for 2 hours. I would go to work. I would come home. I was so exhausted. I would like pass out on my floor next to my dog for like 30 minutes, and then I'd work on my business the rest of the day. And I was watching Google Ads courses. So anyway, I felt the exact same way. I freaking loved it. I was absolutely in love with it, and I just love that energy. And I'm excited for you. If you need anything from us, Dustin, just let us know. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Cool.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Thanks for coming on. All right, guys, if you want to get in touch with Dustin, I didn't put his stuff up before, but you can find him on Facebook. It's right there. You can add him on Facebook. Let him know. Say, hey, we just saw you on Wake Up Legendary, and just, give a little bit of feedback on the show. Tell him, I was encouraged, or I felt inspired by your story. So anyway, guys, thanks for popping on. I'll be back here again tomorrow, Wednesday. And then I think we're going to have Dave back Thursday, Friday, back from his little nose operation that he had done on his deviated septum. So anyway, Dave will be back, I think, Thursday, Friday. It'll be a touch and go, kind of feel it out kind of thing. Otherwise, he'll for sure be back next week. But I think later this week he'll be back. And good to see all you guys on here. Go give Dustin a little follow. And take it easy. See you guys.